all things diamond painting. Square around, I'm glad you are around. Grab your plate, grab your wax, get ready to sit back and relax. Don't see you're single, whatever your niche. Here is your host, a guy named Rich.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone is having a great weekend and getting things done or getting some rest or just relaxing, whatever you need to do. I am happy to take some time and sit down together. All of us can sit down and just chat about our week and make that diamond painting community bond a little bit more tight knit. So let's go ahead and see who is here. So hello, Chocolate Diamonds. Courtney Kaufman, hello and happy Sunday to you as well. Brandy, hello. Berta just got home from work and they're already started arguing with each other. I think she's talking, I hope she's talking about her dogs. They're quite, they're funny, they're vocal, they and it's sort of funny. You hear them in the background when you're talking to Berta sometimes. Hello, Amy Gray, welcome in. Melanie, hello. Hey, how are things? Swab anything lately? I haven't. There's enough going on. I don't need to be swabbing stuff. Was it last Sunday? Yeah, it was last Sunday. I went and got my vaccinations. I don't know if I mentioned that. 3 of them, and didn't have any bad reactions. Well, I didn't feel sick like I have in the past. But man, were my arms, they were both really, really sore. But it's scary. More and more people are, calling out at work. I've had 2 team members have to go out with the new strain of the Big C. And there's been, people have been telling me that friend of a friend or family members, kids' schools have been closing because so many people are out sick with the flu and stuff like that. Hello, Eve, welcome in. Eve, I'm glad that you liked the thumbnail. My Devo, my tribute to the 80s band Devo. If you haven't seen new videos out there, I did I called it a whip parade, and I actually saw another creator had posted a whip parade, and I thought I was very ingenious for coming up with the title. Obviously I wasn't. I didn't copy or anything, but I figured with everything, let's take a look at the pretty things going by, the floats going by, the pretty pictures going by as the world is burning a little bit. But I went through, I think there was like 8. I have 8 whips right now, and I talked a little bit about why I started it, why I stopped it, what have you. So that was a fun video to do and got me back into the headspace of, okay, you need to really get to these whips. Amy Gray, it's terrible. So sick all last week. Didn't DP hardly at all. Amy, I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't know what I would do if I was sick enough, like sick, and just didn't feel like diamond painting, because to me, diamond painting just gets me through a lot. And being sick is one of them, because who likes being sick? That would be sad, and I'm sorry to hear that, because I know a lot of us use that as our a little bit of a coping mechanism. So this week Let's see, what did I have going on? So I got two bits of news that was like sort of good and bad. So I took Sammy to see his specialist on Friday, and he is doing well in terms of his autoimmune disease. His blood levels are staying good. Um, but he's been on a somewhat high dose of prednisone for quite some time, and it has started to affect his kidneys and make his kidneys level go up in not a good way. So we are talking about changing diets, and maybe cutting back on the medication that could be causing. He takes the prednisone, then he takes another medicine to counteract some ill effects of the prednisone, and this one is now causing this. I mean, it's like this big puzzle, and it's so challenging. But you know, I keep telling myself it's not good news, it's not bad news. It's just like, okay, we always knew that we may have to adjust his medication. It's time to adjust his medication, but it's still, you know, I'm totally following him around like, are you okay? Is everything okay? What's going on? Are you okay? And he's pretty much sick of me. He was in here a minute ago and sort of just got up and left because he was tired of hearing me. But so yeah, that was sort of that was not the visit that I expected. We've been getting such good reports that it was a little disappointing to have a negative report. But hey, um, we'll manage through it. We have a plan, and that's all I can ask for. Um, on the good news, but then again, bad news. Two sides of the coin. Well, I'll say good and good. We'll look at the positive. My neighbor, who I mentioned, has just lost her dog. She also has recently been diagnosed with a form of blood cancer. Um, she like they were trying to get her into a trial and all this other stuff, and there's some complications because she's had cancer before, and you know they can't just use the same stuff. So she got a report. Let's see, she went in on Thursday and she talked to her doctor on Friday, um, and she's doing very well. And there's like her treatment plan is like 4 different stages, and she's getting ready to move into the second stage. That second stage includes some type of new treatment via IV that normally she could have done in an outpatient setting, but because it's the first treatment, they make you go stay in the hospital for a couple days. So she's going into the hospital next Sunday to start the treatment on Monday. The challenging news is that I was supposed to go to Dallas on Sunday and meet Ditzy and Shay and Mel and Berta, and I'm not going to be able to make it. So that sort of stinks. Luckily, Southwest is really good with refunds and stuff like that. I was using a flight credit from a flight that I canceled before for something else, and so now I just have the flight credit back. So good for my neighbor, bad for me, but also good for me because I probably would have been too worried about Sammy, depending on especially what phone call I get. So yeah, so that sort of stinks, but hey, that's life. Let's see, Angel Lee. Hey, hello, listening while kidding up. Hello, Angel Lee. Angel Lee has some items on eBay that she's destashing. If you haven't seen any of her posts, she links to it on through Facebook. I purchased 2 pens from her, and they just look different, and they look pretty cool. And quite honestly, I think in the past, Angel and I have realized that we have somewhat similar taste in pens, maybe a little bit. Um, and so I'm sure that I'm going to enjoy them and that they have been well taken care of in Angel's care. Um, so just my one more step to getting closer to getting into Angel Lee's craft room, because it looks amazing. It just looks happy and organized and just filled to the gills with therapeutic art. So thank you, Angel. I look forward to getting those. Hi, Tracy. Welcome in. Hello. We're just catching up on our week. How is everyone? How is everyone's week? Did you have a good week? Hi, Jay Lily. Angel Lee's going to be adding some putty and some other goodies. Okay. Speaking of putty, last week I had those little hands and said that I got a present from Berta. And Berta also sent me this from Putty Crocker Boutique and More. And check this out. This is a putty. This is all putty except for the baubles. So it's a seahorse sitting on a shell. And obviously, like, these balls are not putty, but everything else is putty. I was talking to Berta one night, and she showed something seahorse related. And I mentioned, I like seahorses. Ever since I went to the Shed Aquarium downtown one time, and they had it wasn't your typical display. It was a special display, but I forgot why they were there. But they had these seahorses, and they had a video of, I didn't realize this, that the males carry the offspring, and then they give birth to the offspring. And I thought, okay, that's interesting and fascinating. And I think they're cool. They're just cool because of that. They remind me also a little bit of sea monkeys back in the day. Anybody, the back of like Mad Magazine or comic books, you would have send away for your sea monkeys, and they always looked like the seahorses. But so then she sent this to me, and I think it's really cool. And I asked Berta last night, and Eve, he said balls. Thank you, Eve. I love Eve. Tracy says April at Putty Crocker is amazing. And Melanie, you raised sea monkeys. Somehow that's not the weirdest thing that I've heard this week. But I asked Berta, I said, do you actually, when you get these things, because she has, I'm sure, several other designs, and she was trying to get a new design last night. Do you actually use these? Because could you really stab your pen into something? And she said she does, and that what's her name, April, actually loves when people stab the putty. But I'm like, I don't know that I want to stab the putty. It's cool looking. I want to hold on to that. So how about you? Would you stab the putty, or would you keep it? Would you keep it new? Tracy, those putty unicorns can be hard to come by. I think that's what Berta was looking for last night. Sorry, I seem to have a tickle in my throat. I think that's what she was trying to get last night. She got very angry that she wasn't able to get it. Angel Lee, thank you, Rich, for getting me into Alien Putty. Yes, I'm glad, because it's some good stuff. Angel was wanting to try some alien putty, and the guy who sells it, he's been having some difficulty with mail, who hasn't, shipping and stuff like that. So I know he wasn't shipping to Canada for a while, but he's changed that. He ships to Canada again. Um, but the sending it over to April would be astronomical. And she asked if I could maybe, do something to ship it a little bit differently, to get it over there. And I says, well, I don't know which kind you like, so let me send you some samples. So I did, and she got it. And then she next thing I know, she says, I got he has, from Chris's Craft Corner, she creates these holders, and he has like a 1 lane and a 2 lane that holds a different putty. She got the whole 1 lane. So I thought that was sort of that was cool. I'm glad to turn people on to this, because I think it's a nice product. Here, my new things let's file this under things I totally don't need. I got the 2 newest, the Punk and the Cupid, that he put out for Valentine's Day, and they are varying degrees of black and pink. So that's the Punk, and this is the Cupid. It has some sparklies in it. And the whole point of this alien putty, when he first started, the uh, original color is blue, and he colors each of them because they have a different ratio of ingredients to make it either softer or firmer. And it is essentially just like poster tack and nanotape, but the way he does it, he puts it through a meat grinder. So this stuff is just cut up so fine that I've tried some knockoffs, and I've seen some knockoffs where, people are cutting the nanotape with scissors. So you got big old chunks, and the nanotape is so strong that sometimes if I get a piece that's on the edge of my pen, I gotta bring some of the putty over it, to make it not stick so much. But so he started with the blue, and then he's just started coming out with all these colors, different themes and stuff. Matter of fact, I looked here. I'm working on my temperature chart that I've shown in a couple of videos, and there's a lot of fairy dust, white fairy dust for the background, and I was finding like the blue sometimes would just leave specks of blue and stuff like that, because I think the coating is just a little, tacky for it. So I got out what he refers to as pearl, and pearl is the softest putty he makes. And here's what that looks like. It's like a whitish gray with some sparkle, and I've been using that. I did try this like for my normal everyday, and it's a little too soft. So when I'm a hard presser, so it oozes out the sides very easily. So I personally really enjoy the blue. So let me see. I babbled for a little bit there, and I've missed some comments. So let me move back up a little bit. Okay, Melanie, sea monkeys are real, not weird. I don't know that I said the sea monkeys were weird. I said it was weird that you raised them. Angel, Adam says hello. He's on the floor with Moon Kit putting washi tape around it. Hello, Adam. Hope all is well with you. I've been watching the progress of some of the Asian pieces in the Asian paint along that Adam and Angel and Eve I'm probably forgetting some other people are putting on. It's a year-long event, and you just need to, you could do as many paintings, come and go. They just have to be Asian in theme or by an Asian artist, and which I didn't realize is quite a large net that they were casting. I did not know that, was it Ivy Dolomore is Filipino, maybe, so that counts. So there's some really cool art, whether it's Asian themed or then Mrs. Butter D, I think she qualifies as well. So it's just um, it's very cool to watch. And eventually, I hope to jump in there for a month or so once I get through some of the events that I started here at the beginning of the year. How many? Tracy's asking Berta how many of those putties that you have, and she says one, because Berta always had. She only has one pen, and she has one diamond painting. And it was really fascinating because the other day, Berta was organizing her one diamond painting, and she says, "You want to go see the room that I keep my diamond painting in?" I said, "Sure." So she brings us down the hallway, and there in the middle of a floor, a room that had nothing in it, just in the middle of the floor was one diamond painting. I mean, all room for that. That was just it blew me away. It was very interesting. And of course, that's in jest. Hello, Sarah Ann. Hello, welcome in. Melanie, hello, welcome in. Let's see. Angel says, want them to. I'm assuming maybe the putty. Joe, hello. Joe, welcome in. Eve, I hope he doesn't run meat through the putty. I don't think he does. I don't think he does. It's funny. He works out of his house, and his mom and his husband are on staff. And the husband, they refer to him as the putty barista. And he's got a whole setup, and you see the meat grinder and stuff like that. It's sort of funny. They do go live usually. I forget what day. I know they went live on Valentine's Day, but I think usually like over the weekends, maybe on Sunday, they go live. So if you go find the Make Your Own Wall Art Alien Putty Facebook page and subscribe, you'll get notified when they go live. And they typically just go live and they give away a bunch of stuff, whether it's putty or accessories that they've received from other places that are just donating them to have a giveaway. And then of course the Carissa's holders, they have some of those periodically, so it's a fun little live. Christine, hi Rich. Chris's Alien Putty was the first small shop I ever got. I love it, and you have clout too. That's amazing. Trying to think, was he the first? I don't know that he was the first small shop that I bought from, but I know that I bought from him when it was back in the day. I said on the video that I posted today about the whip parade, one of the canvases I'm working on is double-sided adhesive. And I said, to explain it for the kids, I said, this adhesive is what I used back in the day when I had to walk uphill both ways to get to the diamond painting. And I felt old. But I got it. He didn't have labels at the time. So all it is just a little, it's this type of container, but there was no labels or anything. So I'm pre-label. Yeah, he, and clout, he sells, if you want to try Alien Putty, he sells clout on Etsy. It is less expensive than the ones that he sells on his site. He did that because other companies were undercutting him on Etsy. So he says, I'll get back at you. So he did that. And he's a unique individual. so he sells it there. That one is mid sort of firmness. So you could sort of get a feel for it, but then of course, if you feel it's so soft, you can move. When you go to the Facebook page, there's a picture up at the top that he shows you in order of firmness, the different colors. Brandy hasn't tried alien putty yet. That's okay. The one thing that I miss with alien putty is much like Paul, your helper, if you watch Ditzy, I'm really into the scents, and he doesn't scent his putty, a lot of them. He has a couple that he's scented, but because the oil does something that it breaks down the adhesive a little bit. So I do miss the scents. So every once in a while, I do still have, what is this? Banana. I thought the other day, I'm like, I want to smell something. So I was using some regular putty, and regular putty is just fine. It just doesn't last as long as alien putty, is what I find. I can have, like, here's a pen that I used on my last project, and it still has putty in it, and I use it for both ends. I could dip this into diamonds right now and it would still pick this up. And it's been sitting up there. Let's see, what did I use this on? I used this probably in December, but I could still pick stuff up, so it doesn't dry out or anything. So it just lasts so long. So if you do go to his site and you see that it's like 15-20 bucks for a little tin, know that that's going to last you forever. I bought it way back when. I'm still working through my original purchase of blue. Everyone's saying hello as they come in. That's fantastic. Angel says she's using the purple putty. I saw that is your favorite. Margaret Morales and Mrs. Butterdee are both Filipino. That's okay. Good to know. Thank you, Eve. That's why their art qualifies for the Asian theme. Also, I guess Mrs. Butterdee, her paintings seem a little anime to me. I'm not an anime expert, but they seem to have that flavor, so maybe that would fit as well. Shelly, Berta, did that take all day to organize? Yeah, it did. She was sweating. She works hard for that one diamond painting. Christine, he's very local to me. Yours was in a baggie. Okay, yes. Christine, I bought the clout to support him with that. Yep. I like it as too. It is a little softer, but I do like it. Sparkly, thanks for the shout out for the Asian event. I'm finally off the floor and ready to diamond paint. I'm glad you're off the floor, Adam, because that is a long trip. Adam is like 900 feet tall, and that had to have been quite the trip up. Speaking of large things, shut up, Eve. The largest diamond painting. Did we talk about this last week? I think we talked about it. It went on sale. There's a Canadian creator who has a shop, and she created the world's largest diamond painting, 100 centimeters by 500 centimeters. And she created the art, she sourced it, whatnot. And so many people were asking her, where'd you get it? Where'd you get it? That she said, hey, I'll make it available if the video hits 500,000. It did. So she made it available on Friday. It went on sale at 4 p.m. Eastern on her site. It is $428, I believe. And I was trying to decide if that was a lot of money or not for a diamond painting. And here's sort of what I was thinking. If, a typical diamond painter, someone who doesn't, have the opportunity to diamond paint all day, has to go to work and, et cetera, whatever, maybe can get a typical painting done in 6 weeks, depending on how much of your weekends you put forth. So I thought to myself, well, 100 by 100, let's call that one painting. So that's 5 paintings, and 5 paintings at, you know, $70 is $350. So did you just buy your one painting for like at least half the year, um, for just a little bit more money? Who knows? But it's absolutely astonishing to look at. Yes, it would be my diamond painting for the whole year, and I would probably get sick of it about month 3 because I keep like it would accidentally unfurling it down the hallway, and I'd be tripping on it and everything. So, um, but I'm she has on her website, so there's a 10% off coupon, and she said orders over $70 free shipping. But then she makes a disclaimer: because of the size and weight of this item, you may incur extra charges, and you are responsible for those. Can you imagine how much a 100 by 500 diamond painting could weigh when it was completed? That, I don't know that I would be able to move that. I mean, that's just astounding. Where all anime kits work for the event too. Yep. Okay. Berta, I believe he said his new carnival is harder than the blue. Whoa. Guess I'm buying more. She's talking about Alien Putty. He's coming out with a new carnival version that's more firm than blue. I'm gonna totally have to check that out. I have, unfortunately, I got one of Chris's holders for the putty. It was a 10. I filled that up. So then I got the larger size, and I'm like, don't fill this up. But now I'm starting to fill it up. I have an illness. Melanie, we talked about that. Sparkly Diamonds, Crashly. What's up, Buttercup? Hey, Crashly, welcome in. Hello. Crashly, y'all know, does the diamond painting papers. And Crashly, I actually have something for your shop. It's going to be your next bestseller. I'll send it off to you. At minimum, I'm going to need it to be a custom, but I think if you made it available, it would be a huge community win. Let me actually see if I can pull up a picture here while I'm talking. And I think Berta stepped away, so this could be good timing. Let me see, where did I save it? When on Tammy's last live, there's something with Berta's settings that when she comes into StreamYard to be behind the scenes to like take care of any questions and stuff like that, she pops on stage. Well, she clearly forgot that she does that, and she was eating, and she got caught. And I just got the best screenshot of her. So of course I had to put it on Seattle Seahawks background colors, along with some Seattle Seahawk color hearts, and a little bit of a bam. So here is, do you not want this cover minder paper? Wrap it around a pen, whatever. Don't you want that? I'm gonna send it in. Seriously, I'm gonna get some customs, but feel free. She says, oh, Crash is gonna love that one. So there you go. I'm not good at waiting, and it's not one of my strongest. I tried. I got there as fast as I could. Yes, that's her face. That was her face. She literally came in. She took a bite of something. She came in, and then she looked, and and I got it just at the moment. So here, Crashly, you have some sales. Angel, you're gonna buy it clearly. Adam, she says she's gonna kill me. So Adam, buy some from Crashly in my memory. Um, Crash, my next, get your weird on painting. Yes, I was actually, Crashly, that's funny that you say that. I was thinking about that. But then you saw my Terminator and Piggy picture, and that's just at which Jaylee Lee found. Jaylee Lee, I mentioned you in the video I posted today too, so you want to go watch that. But I mean, come on, like between the two, I gotta save something for next year, so I may save that for next year. Who knows? Yeah, Eve, we can make a tray. Yes, this is amazing. I love every stinking person in this community. I'm gonna make it next Craftsly featured release papers. Please do. That would be amazing. I'll send it to you later on today. And then a matching tray. It's amazing. Tammy, hi Tammy, welcome in. She knows she's not to take a bite. I know, but she just forgot that happens. So it was pretty funny. The new collab event can be centered around that picture. Yes, let's do that. The Rich Memorial cover minder. Yeah, because she is gonna kill me. We're both going to. Let's have supposed to meet her this weekend in Dallas. I can't make that. So I will meet Berta and some of you at what's in Ohio? The what retreat is that? The whatever the one in Ohio is. I forget the name of it with J Rob. I think Crashly, I think you're putting that together. So I'm gonna be there. So yeah, we can I will be meeting Berta. I made the offer. I said, if you want Great Lakes, thank you, Eve, the Great Lakes crafting event. I said, if you want, I said, where do you fly into? And I think last year she said she flew into Chicago. I said, if you fly into Chicago, I'll come pick you up. And it's a 3-4 hour car ride. And so that, she has time to kill me for reals. Crash, I really like the Terminator picture, but I'll order the Berta painting to do with you next year because I saw what she's doing. Berta's doing a picture of Crashly. If you don't know, and if you're looking for an event to participate in, Get Your Weird On 2025 is starting in March, right? I believe. The whole point of it is to work on a weird painting or a painting that is outside of your normal genre, design, etc. So last year I had done a Reagan Kubitschek Winnie the Pooh Eeyore because it just wasn't sort of my style, and now I've morphed into that a little bit because I've gotten the other two in the set. But I tried to last year. There was this really weird, I forgot where I found it. There was this really weird picture. It was like a mushroom person with boobs. And I thought this is weird. This is going to qualify. So I sent it off to have a custom made, and clearly didn't pay attention to the render when they sent it to me, but they cut the mushroom off right above the boobs. It just wasn't as weird. Is that weird? That I think it wasn't as weird if it didn't have boobs. So I ended up doing the Reagan. So when I saw this one, I was like, I need a custom, and I ordered it that night, the first time I got it. Bruce, or Get Your Weird On. I like that. Pen wrap. Yep. I mean, Crashly, I'll even waive my lawyer. What is it? the fee that you would pay an artist, because that's just going to be amazing. She'll be there. Excellent. Yes, we're going to witness your weirdness in person. Are we ready for that? Well, perhaps you will be the soft introduction to Ditsy's weirdness. I don't know. But I think you're hilarious. And yes, I believe I will enjoy that. And I sort of like it when Kerwin just sort of sits there and squirms. Uh, it's even more funny. Eve, when you get to the Great Lakes retreat, we can do a pop up live and have live guests. Sure, yes, yes, I want to do that. I know that they usually restrict taping or going live to you can't do in the craft room. You got to respect others' privacy, but we certainly can do that. I was thinking of next week, since I was supposed to be in Dallas, of doing a live from wherever we were at. But alas, I'm not able to do that. Crashly, she tends to run around a lot. I don't see that. I think Rich, Eve, me, and Berta need to be at a group of 4 tables. Well, Crashly, I think you're somebody with that thing, with that event, so make it happen. I'll walk around and go, I know Crashly. What about you? Let's see. Adam, so gutted that we live in the UK right now. Well, you're having some comic relief watching the news, you know. So yeah, you don't get to see us in person, but yeah, may not be a bad thing right now. Berta's back. Hi, Berta. Welcome back. Pop up live from the hot tub if there is one. Yes. Tracy, you didn't miss anything, Berta. Rich stayed out of trouble. I did. Crashly, I definitely do the setup, but your all's one job is to get to the front of the line outside the door. Bring a tent if need be. You know, again, we all know you, Crashly, and I will bring the velvet rope and we will stand behind it and you can just I know that's against the rules. So I'm kidding, but Melanie, now you want to go to Great Lakes? Yes, you do. You do. I am so looking forward to just seeing some of it. I'm not even like looking forward to doing a diamond painting or working because I don't think I will do anything, but just to meet people and hang out and be able to talk face to face. And without that, we all participate in, whether it's this live that's just like a one-sided verbal conversation, or we have the Zooms or the Google Meets and stuff like that, and then it's like you're constantly talking over one another and stuff like that. I just want to have a genuine conversation with people, that people that I've grown to know and really admire and enjoy their company. Crash, there is a hot tub. Oh no. Berta, don't forget some from, yes, thank you, Berta. Tonight, how many of you, so tomorrow, Monday, is a holiday in the US and in Canada. It's President's Day in the United States that celebrates, who was it, Lincoln and Washington. There's like 2 birthdays in February, so they consolidated it to one day. And then Canada, it's Family Day, which I understand from my Canadian coworkers is quite, it's like how do I want to say this? I don't mean this disrespectfully, but it sounds like Family Day, you spend the day with family, but it's like a real, everybody takes it's like a real observed holiday, I guess you can say. And everybody, most of my coworkers live in Toronto, and they all, we go to the cabin. Does everybody in Canada have a cabin? Because I can't afford a cabin and I would like to have a cabin. But so it's holidays. So I was talking to Berta and Tammy one night and I said, hey, would it sort of be fun? You know how like Adam and Angel and Mia did one. They do these like 8, 12, 24-hour lives. I'm like, what if we just hung out for a couple hours? I'm going to be up late because it's not a school night. And Tammy doesn't sleep. Berta is she's the early bird, so she's going to be the one that is going to be hurting a little bit, but I think she's going to take a nap before that. But anyway, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, whatever it is, this way or over the pond. We're going to be on YouTube live. If you are a creator and know how to use StreamYard, I'm happy to send you a link so you can pop into StreamYard. Just let me know if you can make it. And yeah, we're just gonna hang out. Nothing fancy, nothing what have you. We're just gonna hang out, enjoy each other's company, do some diamond painting, and it should be a good time. Let's see. And Berta posted the link to the YouTube there, so you can go and save that if you'd like. Hi, Connie. You're not late to the party. Never late to a party. A party is always a party. Cindy, hello, Cindy Bennett. How are you? It was nice seeing you the other night. What was that? Was it Ditsy's Google Meets? It was nice to see you. Crashly, it's going to be super entertaining if I get stuck with teaching string art. Okay, Crashly, is that the one where you like have a piece of wood and you put nails around the edges and then you do this, like you do the string and make a picture? Is that what you're talking about by string art? Because there's where do I see the commercial? There's a commercial somewhere, whether it's on YouTube, it's online, commercial somewhere, something. And of course, because I'm watching all these diamond painting and craft things, I see these commercials for, it's a piece of round wood, you put these nails around the edge, and then you use black string and you go between it and you make an image, and like people's faces, images and stuff like that. And I guess they have a catalog that you can go in and like get the pattern, or I think you can upload a picture and they give you the pattern to make this. If it came with the nails pre-pounded, there's really no good way to say that. Pre-inserted doesn't sound good either, but in the wood already, that doesn't even sound good. If the nails were already in place, I would totally try it, but I don't think I would have the patience and be able to get all those nails lined up correctly. So if that's it, I may be in favor of that. Berta, the road trip, I mentioned that. I told everybody, I said that you're going to fly into Chicago and we're going to take the road trip. And of course, Tammy is insisting that we are live probably for the entire drive, which I don't know that is feasible, but we can certainly check in from any gas stations or rest stops or what have you. Berta, there is a hot tub. Well, Berta, Eve wants to have a live from the hot tub. No, Adam wants to have the live with Eve to talk to creators for like the Asian event, and Eve said from the hot tub. So that's how that went. Melanie, I learned not to bother bringing in diamond painting to retreats. I just work the room and chat. As much as I would enjoy just like the communal energy of everyone working on a diamond painting, I don't think I'll get anything done. I'll just bring some minis or something just in case. Tracy, don't take your petri dish to the hot tub, Rich. But could that be interesting? And could I also be able to help the diamond painting community when everyone gets the infection from the people soup? And now I'm sitting here with like the cure. I could be the Marie Curie of the diamond painting world. Who was penicillin dude? There was a dude, Melanie will know, who created penicillin. That could be me. and I could form it into shapes of putty, like putty shapes, and then you can, instead of stabbing it with your pen, you just use the murder tweezers and you take a little bit off and you eat it, and that's your dose for the day. $1 million. I have so many good ideas. I can't stand it. Let's see, Melting with me, Crashly isn't anything done. I'm too busy stealing dip in Time's suitcase and hiding it. Nice. Berta, you're sitting by me as well. We'll make it so. Longer streams are fun. I hope so. I hope to find that. I hope to do more of them because we sort of default to, at least I've defaulted to, if I don't see anybody online or something, I pop into Ditsy's Discord, and if hopefully people notice that someone's in there and they can pop in. But not everyone goes to Discord, and Discord's not hard, but it is a little. It looks very different, so I get the hesitation to use it, but I just think this would be a great way to hang out and stuff like that. Crash Shell, send me the link. The link Berta posted above, but Berta, if you could post it again, I would appreciate it, and it would be great to see you, Crashly. Jaylee Lee, rough night last night, tornado warnings. What is happening? Now, Jaylee Lee, you're in Georgia. Tammy is in Kentucky, and we had a long conversation last night. Her flood warning sirens have been going off, and her town is underwater. Luckily, she's up high enough that the water won't get to them, but they're on a hill, so there's like some concern of that. But I was asking her because I live in the Midwest, and in the Midwest we have tornado sirens, and the first Tuesday of every month they test them, and they're these big. They're also the air raid sirens, I guess. I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but they will go and they spin, so you hear whoa, and if it's a tornado, it'll go down. Whoa, that means tornado. If it's going just straight out, it's the bombs are on their way. So, get your stuff in order. But she said, yeah, they're like these sirens that go off when the town is flooding, and I thought that's sort of interesting, but yet people still get caught in the high water and stuff, and I thought that's really sort of unfortunate because it's like if you live in that area, where the water's going to be. Like here in Chicago, we don't really flood. Well, we do. No, we do. There's a river, Des Plaines River, sort of separates Cook County from DuPage County, which is Cook County is mostly Chicago, and then I'm in the first county, DuPage County. That's the first one outside of Cook, and it floods all the time. But they have put in some pretty major floodgates and flood mitigation type equipment to help support that. Plus, they have somewhere in the southern suburbs, they have the, what do they call it? The Deep Hole Project, and they drilled this gigantic hole into the ground that can hold 1 billion gallons of water, and they just start diverting stuff to there when it gets too bad. And then if that fills up, then they open up the locks and they start releasing out to Lake Michigan. But they do that only as a last resort because then you're polluting Lake Michigan, and that's where we get our drinking water. So it does flood around here, but it's not like I'm sitting on a river. There's a pond down the street that may cross over to the street a little bit, but around me it's not too bad. So I just where it's flooding. There's several underpasses that on the expressways into the city that are lower, and they will absolutely flood during strong storms. And inevitably there's people going down the expressway and they plow into the water, it's not an everyday occurrence. It's not always there. If you're by a river and you know that it's raining a lot, you know that it always floods. It's like that is so preventable. I wish that it just shouldn't happen. Angel A, 2 a.m. for you. You may still be awake. Well, stop in. Please stop in. So Jaylee Lee, I'm glad that you're still around. You're with us. You seemingly have power. But I do not like those tornado sirens, warnings. You got the watch, you got the warning. I don't, my biggest fear is bad, severe weather. So the minute they issue a warning, I'm in the only interior room in my house is a little closet. And I grab Sammy and we go in there and I take the tablet or my phone and we put the weather on, and we sit in there for a little bit till it passes. But which, by the way, brings me to another point. When did we start naming winter storms? We had a snowstorm this week here in Chicago. Wasn't much by me. I'm going to say if we got 2 inches, that's about it. But it had a name. And now we have a winter weather watch, a winter weather warning, and a winter weather advisory. So there's different layers of, and it's like I was reading the difference and I'm just like, okay, well, I know you said it was a watch, then you went to a warning, which in my head, tornado, watch, and then warning. But then you made it advisory, which I think was worse. But it had a name, and I forget the name. It was a name I couldn't pronounce, so it's not something that's gonna, it's not like it was Sue. But since when did we start naming winter storms? Crashly, I don't even know anything about string yard. All I know is string is involved. Me and string don't get along. You'll teach yourself and we'll be totally fine. I love the enthusiasm, but I will bring some scissors to cut you out of the knots that you tie yourself into. Pre-pounded. Yeah, there was no good way to get around that. Melanie, no way to talk about nails without triggering Eve. Exactly. Yes, swab the hot tub. That'll be the last time you use one, probably. Did he just say infection for people soup? I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, I'm not anti-hot tub. I'm like, let me shower with something antibacterial after a hot tub. But because specifically, I think it would be really good for some of my aches and pains. But whenever, I always see them on cruise ships, but they're always full, unless it's like 2 a.m. And then I'm like picturing myself drowning in this contaminated water. And, would they find a body or would the microbes eat me by the time morning? I don't know. And plus they have some of the hot tubs on the Royal Caribbean ships have clear sides, like plexiglass sides, so you can see into them. And the water's not clear, and it's not because of the bubbles. Water's not clear, and then you see people standing in some weird positions. They're peeing in it. You just know it. And I know they're peeing in the pools too, but you don't see under the water. So I'm just saying. Tracy, very good point, Professor. Maybe you should take a petri dish. Yeah, I need to just travel with them, perhaps. Alexander Fleming, thank you, Berta. I will be the Alexander Fleming of the diamond painting world when I find a cure for people soup and put it into diamond painting putty form. Berta is posting live again, so thank you. Sure, yeah, Crashly would have StreamYard. Send her the StreamYard link. Thank you, Berta. Jay Lily, I didn't hear sirens, just my phone. Possible tornado went a few miles north. You're on a 3rd floor, so you ran to Lee's 1st floor apartment at 4 a.m. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And yes, every digital device goes off in my house. I'm close enough to a school that has siren, so I will hear it. And my neighbor, uh, she knows that I'm fearful of storms, and she has a basement. I don't have a basement. I'm on a crawl space. Um, so she'll go and unlock the door, and the unwritten rule is that if it something's coming, I'm gonna grab Sammy, run over to her house, and the doorway to her basement is right there. We used to have, I'm looking out at my backyard here, and I live on what is now the Great Western Trail, which is a walking and biking trail that goes from just, I know it goes to just outside Chicago, but I think it goes into the city somewhere. And you could pick it up and you can ride all the way out to like far western suburbs. And it's a spur of the Illinois Prairie Path, which is sort of the same thing. This used to be, it's called the Great Western Trail because it used to be the Great Western Railroad. And once in a while, I would see trains coming down and stuff like that. Well, they stopped using it years and years ago. So then they used because it's built up on a berm, um, pretty much for the entire way out. They used that for the um, pipes to bring Lake Michigan water out to the suburbs. So they dug everything up, and it's still a berm. But the railroad track used to, and it was my understanding it was for flood purposes, used to have like openings through underneath the tracks, so that if it flooded, water would go under it instead of taking out the tracks. And it was filled with rough rocks, and you had broken beer bottles and stuff from kids that had partied in there. But it was like sort of, it was behind my house off to the side a little bit. And my dad was, if a tornado comes, you run there. And there were bats in there, everything. But yeah, I do not like, if I could get one of those like underground shelters, I would totally do it. Sarah Ann, we don't have any emergency sirens here. At least you never heard one. Yeah, it's one of those things that I'm finding very interesting talking to people now that I have coworkers across the country and you guys across the country, to hear about the different types of warnings and what warnings you don't have and what you do have. It's quite interesting. Christine, I live near Pittsburgh. They have an underpass they call the bathtub because it floods. Yep. Yep. Eve, New Jersey has high winds right now and power's flickering, and you're in the middle of doing a drop. Well, what the hell? You're cutting us all out on the drop, or now everyone's going to leave and go to the drop. I will check it out as soon as I'm done here. Lightning in the storm clouds was blue. Yeah, there's some just weird weather. Weird weather. 2012 was the first named storm. Crashly, thank you. She's our resident weather historian here. But I don't think I've paid attention to it until I pulled up the weather this week, and I messaged my team, and I said, when did we start? And a lot of them are in Wisconsin, which is right up the road a piece. And they're like, yeah, we don't get it either. Amy Gray, it really is people soup. I was in Cabo, next day, severe pain, ended up with an infection. First thing the doctor asked was I in a public hot tub? I need a bunker. I do, Melanie. I really, really, really do, for a couple different reasons. Sarah, when my family lived in Fishkill, New York, Fishkill? That's a violent name. They had the sirens all the time. Okay. Melanie is talking crotch rot. Drop at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm assuming, Eve. So 6 p.m. here. Check out Pucky Pie Pours. Sounds like there's going to be a drop, and they have some. Kathy does some amazing, amazing work. I didn't use trays, trinket trays. I use them now because they're just so cool. They're just so cool. She has a very unique take on art, and to think about how diminished her eyesight is, being legally blind. It's like, how did you picture that? How did you translate to the resin? But she loves pouring her resin, so go and definitely check that out. So let's see what else. So yes, I will definitely try and stop by that eve, but I have to, for my last topic here, I had to run to Walgreens a little bit earlier. Walgreens is a drugstore chain. I think it's in other places in the country, but it's headquartered here in Chicago. Is it just me, or these places gotten really aggressive with their pickup messages? I'll initiate the reorder. I get the text, you've reordered a medication. Okay, great. Your medication's here. Come pick it up. Are you coming to get your medication? Like the same day, multiple messages. And I'm like, people, slow your roll. I will get there. And so I'm getting these messages. I'm like, I know that I'm up. It's that time that they allow you to switch your days around so you can go and pick up all your medications at one time. So I know I have a couple ready to go. So I'm getting ready to run up to Walgreens, say goodbye to Sammy, and I go to lock the door, pull the front door shut, and it's wintertime, and it's, things swell and contract, so you got to lift it a little bit. The doorknob comes right off of my hand. I thought, oh crap. So then I'm like, well, do I have to run to Menards? I have to run to get a doorknob now. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to make my life a little bit easy. And I have a doorknob coming from Amazon between 5 and 10 p.m. tonight. So hopefully I won't be installing a doorknob at the time of your drop. But maybe I'm thinking now, maybe can we look into a resin doorknob? I would appreciate that. Just kidding. So yes, so you got the drop at 7 p.m. Eastern with Pucky Pie Pours. Go check out, if somebody has the link to Pucky Pie Pours Facebook page, if you could post that out there. But I think most of the folks here are aware of it, but let's get the traffic headed over to that way. And Tammy's reminding everyone, come and yak with us and do some diamond painting, 9 p.m. Eastern to 2 a.m. Eastern. Unless we're having such a good time, we can continue it on. But we're committed there to be there for a couple hours, and we'll just hang out, have some fun, and get some work done. I hope to finish tonight, Welcome Home, which is the gift for my neighbor. And then I'm going to pull out my Ticket to Ride piece just behind me here. It's a little dark, but it's Blue Moon by Andy Russell, I believe, from Captured by Radiance. I have basically two rows of the 4x4 square release papers from Crashly. I have the Ticket to Ride one and the Bling in the New Year one on there right now, but I hope to get some progress done on that as well. Yeah, no, you can't take over. Thank you, Berta. Connie, they drop in the Facebook group. So Berta posted that link there. Go ahead and follow the Facebook group, and they will post right in there. I hope that the doorknob comes. Luckily, because I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, well, Sammy, watch the door. I sort of rigged it so the knob stayed on there, but it wasn't locked or anything. And then I come home, and he's, of course, sawn log, so anybody could have come in and done whatever they want. I did do this fast, Melanie. I've been really focused on it because, like I said, I want to get it to my neighbor. And I just feel that it's in that time where it's like not so fresh that it's going to completely wreck her, but it's not also so far out that I'm like, hey, remember what happened a month or two ago? So I think we're in the sweet spot there. Berta boats are dropping tonight. Oh, Eve. they have these new bowls basically that they're calling Berta boats, and there's another boat too, but they're bowls, and they are beautiful. And Eve was showing, I don't know if this one will be part of the sale, but one, it looks like it's made from jade. These things are amazing. If I remember correctly, they're not food safe. So if you're going to serve something, you need to, like, put a parchment paper or a towel or something. But certainly great for the keys, the door, a key bowl by the door or whatnot. So definitely check them out. So we were at, let's see, 5:12. So we were at an hour and 12 minutes. So I'm going to let y'all go because y'all need to get ready for now a drop at with Pucky Pie Pours, and then at 9 p.m. you're going to join us on Speaking with Diamonds YouTube page. We will be shooting the jade one. Okay, it's not for sale. It's a prize for the Asian event. So even another, if this thing is beautiful, get into the Asian event for sure. But yeah, let's continue this later on, and we can do the DP along. And I'm going to sign off for now. So I hope everybody has a good week. I will be talking to you again next week here, unfortunately, not from Dallas. Yeah, we'll see you then. And maybe we'll be able to get in. Maybe we'll get Melanie and folks to say hi to us from Dallas next week. Who knows? Thanks, everybody. You have a good week. And remember, you do you in everything. You do you and stay the course. It will be okay. Thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.